Tariff revenue hits record high. Can Bitcoin make money from this wave of economic turmoil? U.S. funds are crazily increasing their investment in Ethereum. Should investors follow suit? The three major encryption bills finally passed, and the United States has taken the right to set the tone for cryptocurrency regulation. Bitcoin hyper is explosive growth and acceleration of Bitcoin or a pseudo-innovation. Bitcoin hyper is explosive growth and acceleration of Bitcoin or a pseudo-innovation. Pakistan and El Salvador jointly attack and defend and study Bitcoin together, which makes the IMF panic.
July 18th, Friday, BitcoinTV English channel. Where is the coin chain? I am Michael. Let's start with the 24-hour data headlines of the coin circle. Recently, the US Treasury Department recently released a big news that the Trump administration has the reciprocal tariff policy that started in April has really made a lot of money. In the first half of 2025, tariff revenue reached $87.2 billion, and monthly revenue in June reached $26.6 billion, a record high. Most of this revenue comes from a 10% base tariff and additional tariffs on the automotive industry, totaling more than $28 billion. It is expected that tariff revenue for the whole year will reach $300 billion, a record high in a century. However, there are two sides to a good thing. High tariffs have pushed up import costs, with each American household paying an average of $1,300 more, and may also slow global economic growth and increase inflationary pressure. This has led many investors to turn to Bitcoin for safe havens, which may drive up prices. But at the same time, the global economic slowdown and investors' declining risk appetite may also trigger market volatility. In addition, high tariffs may lead to a weaker dollar, driving demand for alternative assets such as Bitcoin. In short, although tariffs bring fiscal revenue, they also increase economic uncertainty, which may make Bitcoin a safe haven, but market risks still exist. American institutional investors have been frantically increasing their holdings of Ethereum recently, and Coinbase's premium index has also soared, indicating that American funds are pushing up prices. Since April, premiums and prices have risen simultaneously, and the sharp jump in mid-July was even more eye-catching. Ethereum breakthrough $3,600, an increase of more than 40%, indicating that US funds quickly entered the market. On-chain data shows that two whales used Falconix and Kraken has hoarded 200,000 ETH, worth $620 million, which is a precise increase in positions. Ethereum spot ETF funds hit a record high and continue to support the market. The Layer 2 ecosystem also performed strongly, with TVL rising 11.8% in 7 days. The market is full of vitality, and there is no sign of overheating. Short-term consolidation does not affect long-term growth. Investors can judge the buying opportunity based on support levels and premium indicators, and pay attention to the risks in the FOMO stage. Bitcoin has been soaring since the end of June, breaking through $120,000 on July 18th, setting a new high for the year. At the same time, the funding rate has also increased from 0.002 at the beginning of the month to soaring to 0.0114, indicating that the market's bullish sentiment has clearly heated up. The continued high funding rate means that bulls are willing to pay a premium to hold positions, which has also driven the rise of Bitcoin. Recently, Bitcoin has also been driven by some good news, including the progress of US crypto legislation, the stimulation of stablecoin and ETF policies, and the decline in US inflation data. Although the funding rate is already high, if it continues to rise, it may bring about a callback risk. But from the trend point of view, this wave of market is still strong. The market is still in an upward channel, and Bitcoin is likely to continue to set new highs in the short term. Please like and follow us to sort out the latest development in the currency circle, chain circle, and mining circle within 24 hours. Click the small bell to join the channel and become a member. You can receive the member wealth password from Monday to Friday. after a crypto offensive and defensive battle was staged in the US House of Representatives. The three major crypto bills, Genius, Clarity, and Anti-CBDC, finally passed, respectively targeting the stablecoin to enter the US dollar reserve, the supervision of privacy currency and central bank digital currency, and the division of regulatory power. This wave of campaign compliance trilogy completely exposed the Republican Party's determination to promote the compliance of the crypto industry and also exposed the diametrically opposed approach of the two parties in crypto regulation. Don't think that Trump will only make trouble on Twitter. He will officially stamp the crypto bill on Friday Eastern Time and push the industry towards compliance.
On this vote, the ayes are 219 and the nays are 210. The bill is passed. Without objection, a motion to reconsider is laid on the table. Pursuant to Clause 12A of Rule 1, the Chair declares the House in recess, subject to the call of the Chair.
The legislative process of the three bills has been full of twists and turns. The House of Representatives passed a procedural vote on the evening of July 16, sending the bill to the debate stage with a narrow advantage of 217 votes to 212, breaking the longest voting record since the electronic voting system was put into use. The bill failed to pass the first vote due to opposition from some Republican lawmakers, but with Trump's personal mediation, the hardliners in the party reached a compromise with the leadership and smoothly promoted the bill. Bitcoin broke through $120,000 this morning, reaching a high of $120,941, up about 3% from the low point.
Once these three bills are passed, the regulation of the crypto market will be set. The Genius Act gives stablecoins a legal identity, so big companies like Circle and Tether can do business with more peace of mind, and institutions can enter the market with confidence. The Clarity Act finally sets an official rule for crypto platforms, so traditional finance can also invest with confidence. The Anti-CBDC Act targets privacy coins and central bank digital currencies. Although privacy coins have to be more cautious, they will also be more compliant. In general, these bills make the crypto industry more attractive to capital, and technical resources are pouring in rapidly. The United States may also become the leader of global crypto regulation, allowing other countries to follow suit. Yesterday, the crypto market was extremely hot, with the total market value exceeding $4 trillion, stablecoins exceeding $260 billion, and the market value of meme coins soaring 29%, exceeding $76 billion. Ethereum has steadily risen with the support of institutional acquisitions and ETF funds. SharpLink Gaming has also transformed itself into the world's largest enterprise-level ETH holder, with a position exceeding 280,000, surpassing the Ethereum Foundation. At the same time, an emerging crypto platform, Bitcoin Hyper, has injected new vitality into Bitcoin. This is an innovative Bitcoin Layer 2 expansion solution that allows Bitcoin to not only run faster, but also save more by increasing transaction speed and reducing fees. Simply put, Bitcoin Hyper is like installing a super engine on Bitcoin, allowing it to run faster and play more.
Currently, the pre-sale project of Bitcoin Hyper's native token $Hyper is progressing steadily and has exceeded $3 million in just a few weeks. The current token price is $0.012275. Officials revealed that in addition to participating in the ICO, more than 130 million tokens have been locked. The current political and economic situation provides external catalysts for market fluctuations, especially as the tariff negotiations between the United States and other countries are still ongoing. Whether the 90-day tariff suspension policy, which expires on the 9th, will be extended will have an important impact on market trends.
Bitcoin Hyper solves the problem of slow Bitcoin transactions and high fees, making it not only faster but also save money. By transferring transactions to the Layer 2 network, it greatly improves Bitcoin's transaction efficiency. At the same time, it also introduces smart contracts, allowing Bitcoin to play with DeFi, NFT, and other applications, although it allows Bitcoin to engage in smart contracts and meet more practical needs. However, the currency circle has polarized views on this. On the one hand, it uses the Solana virtual machine to speed up Bitcoin transactions, reduce fees, and support smart contracts. Many people are optimistic about this innovation. On the other hand, some people think that it may just be borrowing Bitcoin's fame, with unclear market positioning, and security and decentralization issues are also worrying. In general, the technology is good, but there are also risks. Think twice before investing.
With the peak season of altcoins missing, why is Coinbase ranking the only one in the bull market? IMF Pakistan refuses to subsidize miners.
Coinbase's App Store ranking is closely related to the market cycle. In a bull market, Coinbase's ranking often rushes into the top 175, and retail investors download the app one after another, and the activity is off the charts. In a bear market or a market downturn, the ranking may fall out of the top 500, and everyone's interest also cools down. Therefore, Coinbase's ranking is like a weather forecast for the crypto market, which can accurately reflect the market's heat and retail investors' emotions. Recently, this ranking has undergone a major change. Is it good or bad for the crypto market? Let's take a look.
Recently, Coinbase's US App Store ranking has risen significantly, reflecting the activeness of the crypto market. According to Sensor Tower data, Coinbase's ranking has jumped from 386th to 137th in the past month, an increase of 65%. This change is closely related to the rise in Bitcoin prices, especially after Bitcoin prices broke through $120,000.
What's happened in 2025 in terms of, a little bit of a price correction is more about just things getting perhaps a little bit over exuberant. But what I can say is some of what we've seen lately seems to be self-fulfilling.
The market has different interpretations of this. Some analysts believe that the rise in Coinbase ranking reflects the recovery of retail investors' interest, but Andre Dragish, head of research at Bitwise, pointed out that despite the rise in Bitcoin, Google search volume is still lower than in 2021, indicating that retail investors' interest has not fully recovered.
In fact, this bull market is different from the previous ones. The launch of spot ETFs is the biggest change. In early 2024, Bitcoin spot ETFs entered the market and attracted more than $53 billion. In July, Ethereum spot ETFs were listed and attracted $6.4 billion. Now, investors can invest in crypto assets through traditional brokers, and there is no need to download apps such as Coinbase, which has also changed the relationship between App Store rankings and market popularity. Now there are new hotspots for retail investors outside the circle, such as Robinhood's tokenized stocks, Metaplanet and SharpLink, which hold BTC and ETH. The stock price of companies has risen, and the listing of Circle has also driven stablecoins. American retail investors turn to regulated traditional financial markets and can still make money from crypto topics. As platforms such as Robinhood and Binance.us compete for users, the crypto market is becoming more and more fragmented, and the ranking of a single platform is no longer referenceable. Continuing to focus on old indicators may miss real opportunities. Some time ago, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, saw that Pakistan was planning to use surplus electricity to mine Bitcoin and was so scared that it quickly waved its hand and directly refused to give electricity subsidies to miners. But Pakistan was not panicked at all. In May this year, it directly took out 2,000 megawatts of electricity for Bitcoin mining and artificial intelligence projects. At the same time, The IMF was also worried about El Salvador's encryption policy, but El Salvador still hoarded Bitcoin. According to data, El Salvador now has more than 6,240 Bitcoins, worth about 740 million US dollars. What's more interesting is that these two thorns have joined forces to study Bitcoin.
Bin Saqib, CEO of the Pakistan Cryptocurrency Commission and Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on Cryptocurrency and Blockchain, met with Nayib Bukele, President of El Salvador, and had a very interesting chat, mainly discussing various ways to play Bitcoin. Finally, the two sides signed a letter of intent for crypto cooperation, establishing a cooperation framework for Bitcoin-related initiatives, focusing on public sector adoption, blockchain-driven financial inclusion, and policy making in emerging economies.
In a meeting at the White House, Pakistan's Minister of State for Crypto and Blockchain, Bilal bin Saqib, met with Robert Beau Hines, Executive Director of the U.S. President Donald Trump Council on Digital Assets. According to an official press release, the two discussed strategic alignment on digital assets, including Bitcoin integration and the future of decentralized infrastructure.
When El Salvador used Bitcoin as legal tender, everyone thought it was crazy, but now it has become an idol in Pakistan. The letter of intent signed by the two countries means that they have officially started to cooperate on Bitcoin-related projects. Pakistan's Bilal bin Saqib praised Salvadoran President Bukele on X, saying that he is one of the most visionary and outstanding leaders of this era. Having said that, Pakistan has been very active in the encryption field recently, and it still has a $7 billion loan from the International Monetary Fund. It dares to continue to toss digital assets. It's really courageous.
Bin Saqib, CEO of the Pakistan Cryptocurrency Commission and Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on Cryptocurrency and Blockchain, met with Nayib Bukele, President of El Salvador, and had a very interesting chat, mainly discussing various ways to play Bitcoin. Polymarket has a probability of only 19% that Trump will try to fire Powell by the end of August. On the other hand, the probability that Powell will step down as Fed chairman this year is only 21%. Backpack posted on the X platform that Backpack announced the official opening of the FTX debt sales channel, providing a one-stop sales process for global debt holders, including real name authentication, debt verification, quotation confirmation, and settlement payment. 20 major economies expressed concern about the impact of U.S. President Trump's high tariffs on the global economy at a meeting near Durban, South Africa, according to people familiar with the matter. Kraken recently launched a regulated crypto futures trading platform for U.S. customers, allowing U.S. users to trade CME-listed Bitcoin and Ethereum contracts.
Okay, the above is the main content of today's program. Our channel focuses on valuable news in the currency circle, blockchain circle, and mining circle. There are news information and in-depth special reports. If you think our channel is valuable, you are welcome to forward and follow it. You can also become our member and receive the member wealth code from Monday to Friday. Let us become rich together and add a zero to our assets in the bull market. See you tomorrow.